following yet another close game that was massively highlighted by a possible early MVP candidate in Corey Davis, who had 3 touchdown grabs. We did, however, still lose to the New York Giants 23-21. That makes it back-to-back weeks where we could have and arguably should have won the game. We are now 1-4, set to take on the Detroit Lions, who are the opposite. They are 4-1. They have a really good offense, defense, technically the same level as ours. Both of us have that 80 overall for the defense. Their offense definitely going to be a tall task for our defense, and we just have to hope that our defense is up to the task of their offense. They have a whole lot of receiving targets that we're definitely going to have to try to scheme around. We did great job adjusting to Saquon Barkley last week. We'll see if we can do the same here against Detroit. And that might involve needing to move our rookie corner in Rice to the slot. He's struggled a little bit out the get-go. He's had some good play, he's had some bad play, and it might be better to get him in the slot for a little bit as he works on that awareness and play rec. And hopefully that'll then get him to a good spot for the outside. Now, before we do get into that game, we do have a tandem breakout here on offense, and I assume it's going to be for Corey Davis. Or actually, for Chase Claypool, who's just really liking what we've seen from Corey Davis. Now, we're going to challenge Claypool because he hasn't done well since moving back to the outside. But we need to see Chase Claypool have a good game, 150-plus yards against the Lions. And any touchdowns he scores will just be an additional bonus for him if he could get the 150 and some scores. So we'll see. Right now, most of the looks going Davis's way. But with that all said, it's time to jump into this game and see if, one, we could get 2 receivers going, and if we could finally get a win. Now let's get this road battle underway with the boot all the way to the end zone. Look like this might be and will be a touchback for Sutton, as it will be starting at the 25, quite obviously, with it being the touchback as Jared Goff heads out with the offense. Both teams rocking some alternative uniforms today. We're wearing a kind of mix of a couple different options from the throwback unis, as it's going to be a big catch and a run for Jamison Williams, already close to midfield. And as mentioned, we will be having Rice play in the slot today. Right now, looks like he's manned up against St. Brown. They're running some zone coverage. We'll find some space across the middle, and it will be a first down for Eckler, one of the new guys here for Detroit, who just continually keeps adding offensive weapons. They do have a really good offense, as mentioned at the top. Will be tough for us to get the stop as Okoronkwo with another sack. He's been the only guy really getting him for us this year, though. No complaints from me. But perhaps that means we should rotate at least Lawson, maybe bring in some of the rookies a little bit, because I haven't seen much from Lawson at all. As it will be a pass, 2nd and 18. Pass rush coming in again. Okoronkwo providing pressure as they do get it out to Eckler for a short gain. But it will still be a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15, with 2 spread out either side. Hard count, no one jumps. Goff from the pocket. They have 4 going deep. It's going to be a one-on-one. Byron Jones tips it away from Williams. Could have been a pick, but it's fine. The defense gets the stop either way, and we'll head out at the 29. Following a not-so-good punt, there will be a stretch to the outside. Akers not quite going to get the edge. Just back to the line of scrimmage. Now, offensively, we've seen a lot of trends of us losing guys due to practice injuries. That has happened again, and unfortunately, it's for the sophomore receiver in Nakua, right when Quez Watkins has made his return. So we'll see how that group ends up doing as another pass gets jumped. DeGuara with the tackle. Lions take over at the 7. We talked a good bit about these interceptions at the end or even during the game last go round. And they just keep happening. I'm seeing it in a lot of other people's videos as well, so it just seems to be a big issue on Madden 24. Luckily, the defense does well play one. And we'll have a 2nd and goal with an empty set to follow. As Goff, sitting back in the shotgun, has 2 off to the left, 3 off to the right. Sending some underneath routes across the middle. They will find St. Brown down to the 3. And from 3rd and goal, it will be a heavy set, but a single back, with one receiver spread off to the left-hand side. As it will be a run to the right. Eckler stood up at the goal line. Defense does well there, considering the circumstances, starting at the 7. But it would appear like that won't be enough here for the Lions, as they are going for it. They send out the offense, and the offense comes through on 4th. Great blocking on that Eckler run. The Lions will be the first to score. But as the offense heads out for our next go-around, I did have something I wanted to discuss prior to installing it, and that is slider adjustments. Matt 10 has come out with his full set, and I'm wondering if we should install them as an injury for AJ Epinesa. Look to be some form of a lower leg injury, maybe ankle, hard to tell exactly. Hopefully, he's going to be all right as we have a 2nd and 9. But definitely do let me know what you think about installing some sliders. As the pass rush is hitting home, we'll throw it away. 3rd and 9. So far today, offense has not been able to move the ball very well. Davis off to the left-hand side with Quez Watkins. We have 3 DBs over there. It looks like it's going to be a one-on-one for Curtis Samuel, who tries to cut underneath the DB. Knocked away, and we'll have to punt from deep. So as our offense continues to struggle here, at least out the get-go, Lions will head back out already with a lead. 7-0, could grow it with a swing out wide going back to Eckler, who will pick up about 5. And this offense is almost nearly the opposite of what we just played against last week against the Giants, who had a more power focus, as that ball popped up. Almost caught about 3 times, including one from one of our DBs. But a massive change from last week to this week. Lions definitely a spread it out type of team. With a quick throw to the outside, it's Everett. And what did Jaron Curse do? He had the bead on him, but for some reason he bit back towards the inside, and Everett had a clear path for that 1st down. Some interesting play, to say the least, there from the Defensive Player of the Week runner-up. We did go with Bonito last time, who did pretty well in helping us stop Saquon. I'd like to see if he could help us out a little bit more as this game goes along, but it's just a wide open tight end sitting deep downfield. I mean, you have to cover the guy. With, honestly, both of their tight ends just sitting back there with no one even close. Byron Jones did have to crash back down to try to get anywhere near him. But not so good coverage on the outside there from Adebo, who's back this week as Sterling Shepard makes it a 2-score game. But it's about time this offense gets moving, as we're now down 14-0. Starting with a weak eye, trying to find some space down the middle. Nice burst through the middle. We'll pick up 7. And in each of our games that have been close to a win, it's really been the fact that we've had a little bit of at least some rushing game coming through that's helped out. Unfortunately, Frankie Louvu getting a sack here. We had Corey Davis streaking across the field. So we're left with a 3rd and 11. It's a double A-gap look here for the Lions. Hard count, no one jumps. They do drop everyone back into coverage. Coming across, but a bad pass under pressure. It's going to lead to another punt. Now as the Lions retake the field here, going with a stretch to the outside, Eckler not going to get by Murray. Defense is really going to have to keep us in this game right now. Granted, that's really nothing new for this squad. It's been the defense keeping us in these games, as our offense has struggled to move the ball at times, despite seeing some really good performances, like from our MVP early candidate in Corey Davis, as Eckler busts off a 1st down run. And also sends us into the 2nd quarter, where we've had -8 passing yards and 8 rushing yards. So we are just net 0 yards offensively, which really just shows where we're at in this game, as the 2nd quarter does begin. An audible here for the Lions as they go under center. Let's scrunch down the line at least a little bit. Quick throw across the middle, bouncing off the 1st tackle. Going to be about a gain of 5, I believe, Sterling Shepard. He had their previous touchdown on their last drive on the quick slant. With an empty set here, Goff. We send the quick blitz. We get a hit in on him, and it definitely threw off the accuracy. Now on 3rd and 5, we just have to get off the field here, as it will be from spread. 2 to the left, 2 to the right, though. They're going to change that. Actually make it an empty set here with 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Goff from the pocket, goes underneath. Couple guys there. Mark it 4th and inches. Graham, the rookie linebacker, helps get the stop. Now this is really a must-score drive, as we again have had 0 total yards offensively up to this point. Akers, another burst through the middle, picks up 8. Just need to see a little bit more of that. Now obviously we have the breakout opportunity for Chase Claypool if he could get going, but he's struggled ever since getting out of the slot. So we'll see if he can finally find something. As Akers, maybe you want to get the block next time? We could have had a lot more space there. But it at least is the first touch for Quez Watkins in a couple weeks, finally back from his practice injury. As we go with DeGuara down the middle, it's close. And they give it to us. First down, finally up to the 22. So it's been slow moving at best. With a 1st and 10, gonna go with some play action, rolling out to this left-hand side. If we can find someone open, gonna be Claypool, but he can't hold on to it. Definitely feel like we might have, once we get back Nakua, a competition for that second outside receiver, as Akers not able to burst through the line, had a gap, but it closed quickly. But we've clearly had success with Corey Davis. We just need to find someone else in the passing game that we could rely on a little bit more. As we go back to Davis, is at the sideline, but just too far to the outside, and another drive that ends within the 25-yard line. We've got to fix it. And we've got to keep on relying on this defense to keep us in this one. With a bunch to the left-hand side, though, they're going to make a change. Once again, going to a tight set under center for Goff. Though it'll still be a pass. Have some guys underneath, and they'll swing it out wide. Big hit on Sterling Shepard. He holds on to it. I feel like through this one, they're pretty much playing the exact opposite of at least our receivers. Tight, big hits coming in. They hold on to it. Meanwhile, we can't. Good stop once again there from Graham. We'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Once again, we could get off the field here with another tight look as Goff under center. Will be another drop back pass going up top. They have a catch to Jameson Williams. How did that go through the hands of Adebo? I mean, quite literally went through the hands of Adebo, or actually just maybe slightly mistimed it. Needed to jump about a second later. So the Lions catch a bit of a break there. As once again going to make that audible back down to the tight set. Try to scrunch things down a little bit ourselves. A couple drag routes, they swing it out. Eckler, Rice there. Does not get the tackle. He's normally been pretty sure on the outside, though. Eckler will inevitably pay for it, getting flipped with a first down inside the red zone. Now, if Adebo was able to get the interception there, maybe we would have some momentum swinging our way, but right now it's all Lions. With a quick blitz, back to the outside, not the first down, though, 2nd and inches. Was tight coverage there from Adebo, but just a really good throw there from Goff. Put it only where his receiver was going to get it, something we haven't exactly seen ourselves offensively. They set up a pass to the outside. Byron Jones gets the pick, just sit in the end zone. We'll take it at the 20 with about 1:55 seconds. We have all 2 timeouts. We did have to use one earlier. But a little bit of life sparked in this team as we try to set up the halfback screen. We do get it out to Akers, trying to follow some blocks. Quick pursuit from 46 Campbell, the sophomore linebacker. Really cleaned up that play. It could have gone for a lot more. As we'll go into hurry up, switching the formation. If we could get Davis deep, that would be fantastic. Though it doesn't quite look like it as we roll. Wow, we roll with a bad pass. Should have had Quez Watkins there. That's just been the problem. The simple things we've struggled with offensively in this game. Defense, they've done pretty well. We just got to be able to find something. That's not it at all. Though you could argue that bad of a pass actually kept it from possibly being an interception, so we'll take some good with it, I suppose. We barely get that one off. We do get the block, and another first down with a halfback screen. But we've got to find a way to move the ball through the air without having to go halfback screens. Right now, even Corey Davis kind of being locked up, which we typically haven't seen much of. Pass rush hitting home once again. We get rid of it just in time. Bo Harold is 3 of 12. That is how bad the passing game has been. Some of it's been bad passes for sure, but some of it is just no one quite getting open, as we have Tutu Atwell. Could have been a touchdown with a good throw. Instead, that ball about 7 yards out in front. And with not a whole lot of time left before half, you feel like you really do need to throw the ball, though. We go Akers on 3rd down, picking up the 1st down. We'll quickly get back to the line. Trying to feed off of that running game a little bit here. They do bring down the safety on the left-hand side, so let's slide protection that way. I would love to find Quez Watkins down the sideline here, but we'll see who gets open. The safety does shade that side. There's nowhere to throw it to, so we'll throw it out late. 35 seconds left in the half. Field goal range is about 5 to 10 yards away. So we do bring out the backup running back, try to find those yardage, which we will, picking up at least 3, as we'll hit the hurry up here. Trying to see if we can just get a few more yards at least. Everyone's kind of covered. We'll dump it off to Guara, who will not get the 1st down. 4th and inches, timeout called. With 11 seconds and a timeout to spare, I would like to get the 1st down here, take a pop shot towards the end zone, then go with a field goal attempt, and we are close. And we do pick up the 1st down. Last timeout called, we just can't take a sack. But it will be 2 high safeties against 3 deep routes. We'll see where they shade. They do shade towards the opposite side of Corey Davis, who has the step, a good throw, and another late half touchdown. Going to Corey Davis downfield, we finally get on the board. Carry a little bit of some momentum into the second half. If only next time we don't have to wait until the last play of the half to get this job done, it'd be a whole lot better. But as we hit halftime, we do at least strike there. And the one time that they really didn't have close to double coverage, at least a bump coverage over on the side of Corey Davis. Finally get him going a little bit. We finally have some offensive yards. We just need to build upon that in the second half. But as we go in, make some halftime adjustments, let's check out what's happening around the league. As the Chiefs currently up 17-13 against the 49ers. Chiefs trying to get back to 500. 49ers trying to find their 5th win in this young season. As for the New York Giants taking on their rival in the Commanders, they're up 17-7. Again, Giants trying to find that 500 mark, while Commanders just trying to find their 1st win. We at least aren't the worst team in the NFL this season. As for the Seahawks, they do get a big win, 20-17 against the Bills. They get their 2nd win on the year. Bills dropped their 2nd. And as we get our game back underway with a boot, it will be a return here from Weddington, who's been decent in the role, who has a little bit of some space, trying to break to the right-hand side. A key tackle there from 32. Otherwise, that one could have been a house call. We'll start up at the 39. And as you see Harold talking to Akers there, a little bit of a key into what our game plan is going to be this second half, and that is getting this running game going with an open lane. Akers can't quite shake the safety, but a really good game for this offense, play 1. Obviously, we have the breakout opportunity for Chase Claypool, but the passing game has not worked up to this point besides the touchdown late. So let's try to get the offense moving. Try to get a little bit of some momentum on our side, and we can do that with a little bit more of some running, sprinkle in some passing when it opens up here for us. As we have a receiver going across, it's Corey Davis with a lane down the sideline. He tries to hurdle, but instead just gets tossed out at the 3. But a great chunk for us in the passing game. I don't think Corey Davis has had a game under 100 yards that he's actually played in. He missed one with an injury. As we have some space to the outside, Akers can't quite get the stiff arm. 32 Branch has been solid in the tackle. But on 2nd and goal, we're going to go with a pass. They do cover pretty much all of it. Not a whole lot of other options, so it's going to be a throwaway, but Bo Harold just got lit up after he threw the ball away, so it's going to be a free 1st down for us at the 1. Calling it on the safety, CJ Gardner-Johnson, means 1st and goal. And we got to make up for a couple missed opportunities for one of our key guys from last year. DeGuara right down the middle, untouched. The MVP of Season 1 gets his touchdown finally. And with that, we've got ourselves a game here in the second half. Finally tied this thing back up 14-all. Have to give the defense massive props for keeping it a close game. The Lions could have ran away with it. And if it was still Season 1, that's probably what would have happened. That just goes to show how far this team has come with a lot of the changes we made as Benito almost gets the sack. Lays a good hit, though, in on Goff. And it is good to see him out there. He did leave the game for a little bit early on after there was an injury after a PAT. So good to see him out there still making some plays, rolling out. Eckler, it's picked up and slammed down Murray. Definitely love to see the big hits there coming in from the star linebacker for us as we get off the field here with a stop. And they'll swing it out wide and all the way out wide, out of bounds. Will be a punt. Defense keeping it rocking. Now, one thing I learned from the last couple games that should have been wins, fully admit that, should have been, is that we got a little bit too pass heavy in the second half, got away from Cam Akers, so we're not going to do that this game. Unfortunately, though, play one doesn't go anywhere despite having a possibility of going somewhere, but we'll stick with it. 2nd and 10, try to find a cutback lane, we'll pick up a couple, just 2. But on 3rd and 8, looks like a potential blitz off this left-hand side. So let's try to attack that with a halfback screen that they read. Aleem McNeil gets the stop. We actually lose one. We'll have to punt the ball away. It's a whole different game when your DTs can move that quickly. And for the Lions, it keeps them in this game. Though they have been making a lot of checks, doesn't seem like it's been as effective as we've seen from some other teams, though it works out really well there as Byron Jones, that dive coming up well or high, and St. Brown can probably just walk from the 20 into the end zone. A one-play touchdown drive for the Lions. But once again, our offense now chasing. As they are stacking that box, they saw we wanted to go after the run. We're going to stick with the run, though. Try to get to the outside quickly with some speed. Quez Watkins cuts up, does get the block. A massive block from the center who was about 30 yards downfield. As Quez Watkins with a huge gain puts us into plus territory at the 30. We talked about how our center was an agile guy, and we really could have used the power against some of these big DTs in the last couple weeks as Akers with a nice little subtle juke. Safety's still a problem for us. CJ Gardner-Johnson with a stop there. And honestly, that time, the speed and the agility of the center coming up clutch for us as we have a 2nd and 11. We're going to roll out. We have Corey Davis try to throw that downfield, but it comes up short. Need to get that downfield. If that ball is placed about 2-3 more yards down that angle, it's a touchdown. And that's where a lot of the interceptions have come from, as Akers, with a powerful run, barely squeaks out the first. And honestly, at this point, we'll take the barely with a 1st and 10 just inside the red zone. With a little bit of some counter, juke again from Akers, we'll pick up just 1. With the defense starting to stack the box there with the heavier sets, we'll spread wide here, just try to air them out a little bit. As they send the blitz, it actually works out pretty well for them, but we still gain a couple. Campbell with the tackle. But on 3rd and 6, we need a 1st down, and we're going to try to do it through the air. As they just cover just about everything, we'll get the pass off late, and Tanyan, you got to keep your head up. That's got to be a catch. But instead will just be the field goal attempt that we will gladly take. Get us some points, still keep this game tight. A touchdown for us later on with a defensive stop. We could take a lead. We just actually have to get that defensive stop, as it will be an I formation here for the Lions to start off with as we stack the box this time. They get a little bit of a lane and just not even a full juke, just a little bit of a swivel there from Akers. Sent the safety flying with a 1st down run. We've seen that happen a couple times with both the safeties in Durant and J-Ron Curse, though we can't really afford too much of those as this game is winding down. One more play left here in the 3rd quarter. Eckler gains 4, and it will send us in to the 4th. 21-17, it's a close game, though feel like we have a way to victory. But we've said that a lot the past couple weeks, and we haven't been able to come through. So it's time that we do. As they go back to Eckler, bouncing off the first tackler. J-Ron Curse, though, not getting shaken by this time. And it'll force another 3rd and short. As again, we're going to stack that box. They go with a pass play. Fantastic blocking downfield. It's a Debo in coverage. And luckily it's overthrown. Otherwise, that might have been an interception or just another really good play by St. Brown. But instead, 4th and 2, and it should be a punt. And indeed it will be as we start back at the 19. This is where we need the running game to come through for us against a stacked box as well. Find a little bit of some space. Akers picks up a couple. Though I do feel like we've done better while trying to also get the ball to the outside. So let's try to give us a couple different options. Fall behind some blockers. Keep the legs moving. Make it 3rd and 4. And from there, we'll spread wide. Once again, we're going to have Quez Watkins come across here. He has the speed. We just need some decent blocking out there, which we have, though it looks like we might have a holding call, making it a 3rd and 4. We'll have to see what the ref says. And indeed, that's what it's going to be. A 3rd and 14 after the holding call on Chase Claypool. Devastating there was an easy 1st down rush. As pass rush comes in, Hutchinson with his first sack, and backing us way up, we're going to have to punt, giving the ball back to the Lions. Now, I'll be honest, I was keeping track of all the hurries, quarterback hits, and sacks given up. But over the last couple games, we stopped, and maybe that's something we shouldn't have done. Though we did get some decent insights, and there's definitely some work we need to do along the offensive line as Eckler takes a shoulder there from Murray, picking up 2. And they might have a very similar game plan to what ours was, which was run out the clock, get a late score, and win a game. As it will be a pass. Across the middle, knocked away, diving a Debo. Huge play. I will need one more of those on 3rd and 8. They come out spread to either side. Goff from the pocket. Has a couple different options forming downfield as they will go downfield. And Byron Jones just lost track of the ball, and it's Jamison Williams down to the 6. Should have been an easy knockaway, if not an interception. Should definitely not have been a 1st down. Lions catch a massive break. Jones, I guess, thought the ball was going to be coming up a lot shorter than where it did go. But with a field goal, they can make it a touchdown game. With a touchdown, they make things really bad for us as it's a read option. Goff gets lit up, but he holds on to it. Great play there from Murray, though. Gave us an opportunity, and that's all we could ask for here late. With an empty set, Goff making a check from the line. He's got trips to the right. Has one guy going out. It's a Debo with the pick. We have some blockers out in front. A Debo not going to outrun it, but we keep all points off the board. Once again, our number 1 corner coming through for this squad. And that was just massive because he got beat for sure, but he makes up for it. As we start back at the 13, we still need a touchdown. We have to get the ball off quickly there. Offensive line, 1 solid drive is all we need. 1 solid, really big drive is all we need. As we try to set up a run, Akers with space right down the middle, has the blocking, gets the stiff arm. The tackle comes in from behind as Tutu Atwell is shaken up. Luckily, we're not inside the 2-minute warning, so it's not going to cost us a timeout, but it does stop the clock. And hopefully he's also okay, as that's going to bring out Parkinson as actually one of our depth receivers because we just don't have great depth. And Akers breaks 1 tackle, not breaking the 2nd, and a flag down. Will end up being another holding. 1st and 20 now. As we're going to stick with some running. Parkinson with a good block. Finds some space for Akers, who picks up 12. 12 really key yards there. Now we ran some spread plays. Let's change it up a little bit. Try to keep some guys fresh when possible. We bring out the heavy set. Trying to get to the outside. Akers trying to find some space around the block, and we'll pick up a decent chunk there. 3rd and 1. And a stacked front from the Lions. Makes it seem like they know where we're going. But we're going with it either way. DeGuara pushing. No yardage gain. 4th and 1 as we hit the 2-minute warning. But will they be able to do it again? They only have 3 stacked in the middle. Offensive line, we need the push, especially from our center, and he gets blown up. Ali McNeil with a huge play. Lions get the ball with a 4-point lead under 2 minutes left. Honestly, we may just need to find a new center for those 4th and inches plays. It's just a hog maul dude right down the middle with a lot of strength and just won't get bullied, who's strictly a run guy. That might just be something we have to do because plays like that have cost us several times already this season, with 3 possible losses all attributed to it. With another run, Eckler has some space, just has to choose a gap, and a big hit comes in there at the end. Is that what the flag is going to be on? No, it's actually on a hold. We will take that, make it 2nd and 14. Just over a minute left. They go with another stretch of the outside. Eckler has space. No, they do give him the first. That is not great spotting. And with just over a minute left, we only have 2 timeouts left. These are going to have to be essentially perfect plays for us, as they do go back to Eckler, and we're just going to have to let him score. We're going to have to let him score. We're going to need 2 touchdowns late, simply put. And we're going to have to try to do all this with 59 seconds on the clock, only 2 timeouts. We're going to need Corey Davis to come up splash here, and he has a bunch of space, does get the catch and out of bounds already. Passing midfield, let's keep it running. Though maybe kind of shake up the look a little bit, just flipping the formation. Corey Davis loaned to the left-hand side. They do have help over the top this time, but right down the middle, instead it's Quez Watkins with a catch down to the 1. Are you kidding me? That's a touchdown. We'll just have to get to the line quickly here. We need to snap the ball. 23 seconds, 20 seconds, come on. Hand the ball off Akers down the middle. We get the touchdown back. We need the extra point. We need the extra point. We need the onside. Or we go for 2 here, actually. Make it a field goal game. Then we don't have to get the touchdown late. Might be the smarter option. If we could get the job done, it's Chase Claypool with a catch. An injury, unfortunately, for one of the Lions' defenders. But we make it a field goal game here. And once again, it comes down to an onside. Something, again, have not been able to find success in doing. But we'll give it another go. Brown, not far enough downfield, but the ball is free. We jump on it. The ball clearly did not go the 10 yards, but it was touched by a Lions player. With 19 seconds, we have a chance to win a game. We just need the field goal. We just need the field goal. This time they are covering, double covering as we go over to Claypool, who gets the grab down to the 17. Timeout called. We could send it into overtime with a field goal. Or we could find a late game touchdown. Finally recovered an onside kick here in Madden. And we have a chance to steal a game late when we've missed out on so many opportunities late in games. With a throw to the outside. It gets jumped. Joseph is off to the races. Broke 1 tackle. We will get the tackle though, but that will be game. We tried to find our MVP candidate in Corey Davis, but once again, the ball just comes up a little bit short, and Joseph just ends up making the game-winning play. Yet another absolutely devastating loss. We got the onside. We didn't have to get the touchdown. That's why I thought I was going with a safer throw there on the outside. It just needed to be higher. More to the outside. Pass was just a little bit off, and these undercut interceptions costing us a game. And on top of that, we did talk about it when it happened. We have gotten blown up on these short down and distance runs over and over again. This league has really become full of nose tackles, defensive tackles, who are big, strong boys who can move quickly. And to combat that, you need someone at center who can match. And unfortunately, our rookie McAllister is struggling with it. So that's something we might need to take a look at for sure. It doesn't mean I don't want him starting. I think he's done pretty solid, but I think at least for just that formation, that time, just to have someone else to come in, you don't really want to mess up the center quarterback duo though. So it's a delicate situation, but one that does need to be addressed. And speaking of addressing things, tandem breakout opportunity. Chase Claypool really didn't have that great of a game, and it's kind of what we see here. Things didn't go the way he was hoping they would, and honestly, it's kind of what we expected, so nothing from that. But additionally, it is more of a major injury for Tutu Atwell. He had an abdominal tear, and he will be out for a couple weeks, so now we're even lighter at the receiving group. Luckily, we will get back Nakua next week, but we still may need to bring in another guy. So some roster changes may need to happen in between this episode and next episode, or at least before the next Cardinals game in Week 8, the trade deadline. But let's just take a quick look at something real quick. So currently on roster, we do have Brian Allen, who did start for us last year. We've been starting the rookie, though, in George McAllister. And comparing these two, we do have the stronger center actually starting in McAllister, but it's only an 88. Allen is an 83. In terms of their power ratings, though, Allen is a little bit better, 71 to 66 with McAllister, so that is lacking. The run block power, 81 with Brian Allen compared to 69 with McAllister. So there is the possibility that we could just bring in Brian Allen to basically go out on the goal line sets or the heavy fullback dive sets so that we're not going to be blown up any longer. Despite the actual strength rating being lower, also has much higher awareness. So that's a possibility. Another possibility is maybe moving someone else we currently have, though Noteboom is also not much of a power blocker. He has also gotten blown up on occasion. At right guard, we do have the second-year player in Steve Avila, who does actually provide a little bit more power than he does finesse, though actually pretty even there. So there's a possibility that maybe we do rock a little bit with Allen, especially on the goal line set specifically, maybe bringing him in at other points as well. Things you can definitely let me know down below, but need to address the fact that he keeps getting blown up. Now, in terms of just his pass blocking to run blocking, he's actually a pretty well-balanced guy, so he could play elsewhere as well. Noteboom is one who we do want to get rid of. He is a trade target for the veteran status. He's been on the trade market. No one's come for him. He has a large penalty when it comes to his cap space. So that's the unfortunate part. At 29, we do need to address that spot. Now, we have talked about possible trades that we could make. We have not talked about this next draft class, and that's because it's still pretty early on. We don't have more than 30% scouted, or 45% for some of these guys, for pretty much all of the offensive linemen. Though at center, looks like at least 2 of the top 3 are both agile guys. So unless Cody Tyson ends up being a power guy, probably not going to find a replacement at a true center spot. But over at right guard, there are 2 options that we know of at least being power guys, in Rakeem Casey and then Quinton Jacobs. So there's potential for maybe some guys in this next draft class for us to maybe find someone else to go at center so we stop getting blown up and McAllister can just shift. But we have had plays just like that in the last 3 games late on that we needed that first down and we got blown up down the middle that have cost us possibly other things like the late interception there that lost us today's game. Definitely changed the way that the game ended. So it's not all on the center getting blown up. There's definitely some things we need to do better. Personally, I need to do better using the bumpers when actually making throws, because on that interception, I feel like if I use the left bumper to make it a high pass, it wouldn't have gotten jumped. So I need to be more cognizant of that for sure. It's not all on the rookie quarterback, though. Some of the inaccuracies definitely are, because I am using the left stick to tell, as I'm also moving the screen, to tell the quarterback where to try to throw the ball, whether that's lead him to the left, right, downfield, underneath, like a short throw to make sure they're falling for the catch. And it doesn't always end up where we're looking for. I think that's just the accuracies. Overall, I don't think Bo Harold has had too bad of a year outside of what I think is mostly just Madden, as well as some things that I should tweak myself. As for tweaking things, definitely do let me know what you think about adding the Mat 10 sliders to this. That's like the golden standard really for sliders when it comes to franchises on Madden. Still gonna rock with the all Madden just to give us more realistic gameplay, and I don't think all the jumped interceptions are all too realistic. So let me know what you think about that, and we'll make adjustments accordingly. So until next time, where we are going to be playing against San Francisco 49ers, who are 4-1, maybe even 5-1. I can't remember if they won their game. I'm pretty sure they were one of the ones that was in the halftime report. Either way, it's going to be a big game for us, a divisional game, which didn't do all too well in the previous against the Seahawks. So let's try to bounce back, finally try to win one of these close games. Our record could be flipped if we could have done that with these. But it feels like we're the Minnesota Vikings of this current year instead of last year. So hopefully we'll get that turned around. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the subscription button. They both do the same thing in subscribing to the channel. But definitely make sure you hit the bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday with the state-only challenges. Currently the Virginias on every Wednesday and Saturday. So a whole lot of content plus the shorts highlighting everything. I hope you guys enjoyed those. But until next time, where it's divisional game once again. We'll see you then. Bye.